Hello, my bookish friends. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Elizabeth. This is Reading Wryly, and today I'm going to do try a chapter using the weird books that you all recommended me. Okay, so here are all of the books. How many do I even have? I couldn't find all of them that you requested me, but these are the ones that were just available at my library, so I picked them up. I have 11 books here. I'm going to try the first chapter of each one and kind of see if I vibe with the weirdness. Weird books are interesting because I personally love weird books, but they have to be my kind of weird, if that makes any sense. Some of these I've been wanting to read for a while and just haven't gotten to, so I figured this is a really good way to figure out how to prioritize these on my TBR. So I'll tell you what we have. We have Tinfoil Butterfly by Rachel Eve Moulton. I have heard a lot of mixed things about this. Can you even see it? You know what? I'll pop it up. I have no idea what it's about. We'll find out. We have Severance by Ling Ma. Also, no clue what this is about. The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. After reading Just Like Home recently, I really enjoyed her writing, and so I do want to pick this one up and try this one out as well. Follow Me to Ground. A lot of you recommended this one. I have no idea what this is. This is by Sue Rainsford, but I am loving this cover. Eileen by Otessa Moshfegh. Gosh, this glare is just not working for me. It's got the library stuff on top, you know? I've just heard this one's really grotesque and disgusting. I read one of Otessa Moshfegh and I liked it, but I didn't love it, so we'll see. I have The Harpy by Megan Hunter. Again, no idea what this is about. Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. This is one that I've been wondering for a while if this is something that I'm going to either love or hate, and I don't know. The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. Oh, I did not expect this to be written by a man. This is a YA horror book that I've heard some really great things about recently. I don't typically read YA, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be for me. A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan, which I actually own. This is the library copy though, and I forgot I owned it. Again, heard some really mixed reviews about. We'll see. Good Neighbors by Sarah Langan. This one I think is going to be interesting. I'm intrigued by this, so we'll see. And then another YA, we have Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. Another one that I've heard such good things about, but just don't know because I don't read a lot of YAs. So I'm going to read the first chapter of all of 11 of these books. Where they end up, as far as like my interest level after the first chapter, is how I'm going to rank them on my TBR as to like which ones I should read first, which ones I may not get to. We'll see if I jive with the writing style. If there's a prologue, I will read the prologue and the first chapter. I think that's it. Those are the rules that I've set for myself. Now, before we get into this though, I do want to talk to you quickly about a lovely little jewelry brand called Ana Luisa Jewelry. It's that time of year. It's almost February. It is February, I think, by the time I post this. And guess what that means? Valentine's Day is coming up. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that I love Ana Luisa Jewelry. These pieces would make a really nice treat for yourself, but also a really unique gift for a loved one as well. I stand behind this company 100% because I love that they are sustainable and they are really trying to change the jewelry industry to make it better. They're carbon neutral. They're very transparent about where they source their materials from and different ways that they are helping stay carbon neutral. For example, their packaging. They come in these cute little cloth reusable bags. You can store your jewelry in there or you can reuse them for other things. I've given a couple to my 6-year-old stepdaughter and she loves to keep her little tiny knickknacks and Barbie shoes in there. And whatnot. And they have pieces starting at $39, ranging up to higher end pieces. There's something for everybody here. I don't know what it is about this mood ring. It is just like, it's very simple and elegant, but it's also taking me back to that like 90s nostalgia. Like I feel like my girl when I wear this ring. I feel like Thomas J saved this from the Beehive for me, and I will treasure it forever. I'm also wearing the Alex crossover ring, which I am obsessed with as well. I actually, I ordered it twice because I lost it before. I'm so embarrassed to say that, but I lost it and I had to have it back, so I reordered it. Like I mentioned before, they're carbon neutral, also water neutral, which is really cool. They vet the factories that they use and are super transparent about the supply chain as well. And the end result is high quality products at affordable prices, which really can't be argued. I also have a discount code for you guys. If you use my code READINGWryly20, you will get 20% off your order. I'm gonna put that right down below in the description box with the link. So if you wanna check it out, please do so. But that said, let's go ahead and get into reading these chapters. I don't know what to start with. There's so many. You know what? I'm interested in the honeys, so I think I'm gonna start with this one. Let's see what this is supposed to be about. Oh, this is twins. Okay. Mars has always been the lesser twin, the shadow to his sister Carolyn's radiance. But when Carolyn dies under horrific circumstances, Mars is propelled to learn all he can about his once inseparable sister who'd grown tragically distant. Interesting. Mars's gender fluidity, ooh, love this, rep, means he's often excluded from the traditions and expectations of his politically connected family. This includes the attendance at the prestigious Aspen Conservatory Summer Academy. Is this dark academia? Where his sister poured so much of her time. But with his grief still fresh, he insists on attending in her place. Oh. What Mars finds is a bucolic fairy tale not meant for him. Folksy charm and sun-drenched festivities, camouflage old-fashioned gender roles, and a toxic preparatory rigor. Mars seeks out his sister's old friends, a group of girls dubbed the Honeys, named for the beehives they maintain behind their cabin. They're beautiful and terrifying, and Mars is certain they're connected to Carolyn's death. But the longer he stays at Aspen, the more the sweet mountain breezes give way to hints of decay. Mars's memories begin to falter, bleached beneath the relentless summer sun. Something is hunting him in broad daylight, toying with his mind. If Mars can't find it soon, it will eat him alive. What the fuck? This sounds so good. I'm gonna read the first chapter, and then I will update you guys. Okay, first line. My sister wakes me up with a whisper. Not the greatest first line. This was only like 2 pages, the first chapter. Let's talk about it. Okay. The first chapter of this is just a couple pages, so that was really, really quick. Oh, that was an intense first chapter. It's told in first person from the perspective of Mars, and the first chapter is him talking about the day his sister died and what happened, and it sounds cray-cray. There's a lot of talk in here about the way she smelled after she got back from this academy, about how it was like sickly sweet, like decaying flowers, and he could smell her before he saw her. And she snuck into his room and attacked him, and she ended up dead. The last line of the first chapter is, Carolyn is looking at me when she dies, and she is smiling. What? What? I have a feeling this one is going to stay on the top of this pile because I am intrigued. Color me intrigued. Let's get to the next one. I'm just going to grab whatever's here. And that is Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford. Let's see what this is about. So this sounds really interesting. We're following Ada and her father, and they can heal any illness. They live on the edge of a village where they help sick locals by cracking open their damaged bodies or temporarily burying them in the reviving, dangerous ground nearby. What? Ada meets a man named Samson, and they have an affair to the displeasure of her father and Samson's widowed pregnant sister. She's torn between her old way of life with her dad and this new way that she's going to find with Samson. Oh, man. It says it challenges conventional ideas of womanhood and the secrets of the body. A dream between fairy tale and nightmare, desire and delusion, folktale and warning. Wow, this sounds really good, y'all. Oh wow, it says part 1 and then there's like a slug. And this is short. Let's see how many pages this is. Oh, this isn't even 200 pages. It's 197 pages. Wow, okay. First line. The summers here are made of long, untended grass and flat lemon light. Lemon light. Flat lemon light. That's pretty. Does this even have chapters? What's happening right now? What's happening? Okay. I think I'm gonna like this. This is really weird, y'all. Okay, Ada is reminding me of the girl from Where the Crawdads Sing. Like, she's got this innocence to her, but she's like an outsider. They call the regular people cures, the people that they heal, and those are like humans, I guess. And Ada and her dad are not human at all. And she keeps saying they come from the ground, and the ground is capitalized. Capital T, capital G, the ground. The slug thing at that first part. So I think what happens is that when they cure people, the bad parts, they don't just go away, but they move them. And so I think that's where all these slugs are coming from in the drain. They pour it down the drain and it comes up with all these slugs and like nastiness and black tar. Also, I've just decided that I'm going to compile pictures of like the aesthetic of my first thoughts and like the aesthetic. Oh, that's home. So this is how they make their money, by curing people. And that's how she met Samson, is that he had like a sore on the roof of his mouth. And she cured him from that. So a lot of the visuals that I'm getting are like summer, citrus, tall grass, birds singing. And then it's also like juxtaposed by the slugs and the drain in her floor and this like damp darkness. So it's like really, depending on how bad the person is off, they have to bury them in the ground. They have this one spot of this like curated ground if it's really bad, but first they like take them apart and take out their organs and stuff. I don't know, it's really weird, but I'm really liking it. I think this is gonna go right on top. So far we have Follow Me to Ground first, The Honey second. I'm getting really excited about this because both of these sound really good right now. Next, just because it's right here, we're gonna go with Tinfoil Butterfly. Let's see what it's about. Whoa, this sounds good too. So we're following Emma. She's hitchhiking to the Badlands, trying to outrun a violent, tragic past when a vicious scuffle with a driver leaves her bloody and stranded. She's in an abandoned town in the Black Hills with an out-of-gas van, a loaded gun, and a snowstorm on the way. Oh, man. She takes shelter in a deserted diner, and she encounters Earl, a strange little boy in a tinfoil mask who begs for her help. As she's pulled into Earl's bizarre, menacing world, the horrors of Emma's past creep closer and she realizes she can't run forever. Says it's a seductively scary exploration of evil, how it sneaks in under your skin, flaring up when you least expect it, how it throttles you and won't let go. Whoa. Let's see what the first line is. I swing my body up to the front seat of the van and put my feet on the dashboard. Not the best first line. Looks like chapter 1 is, oh, it's kind of long. Oh gosh, it's 22 pages. All right, let's get to it. It's starting to get dark. I might move to the bedroom. But read the first chapter of this, 22 pages. We're following Emma. She is on the run. So she's wanted, I guess, in connection to the death of her stepbrother, Ray. And she's been on the road with this guy, Lowell, for almost 2 weeks. He's got this 1980s Volkswagen, and she's sleeping with him as like a form of payment. He seems like a total creep. Apparently his ex took his kid and fled, and he is on his way to go get the kid back. And he is under this delusion that he's some kind of a good guy, that he's like saving the kid. But she, as she gets to know him more, she's like, okay, no, this guy is probably a serial killer. He probably has bad intentions with me. Her plan is to steal the van from him and continue to the Badlands. Something about, okay, I didn't even know where what the Badlands were, but I guess it's in South Dakota, and it's like a deserty kind of area. I don't know if they're not mountains, but it's like this really dry, rough terrain. It's winter, a snowstorm is coming. She's hurt, he's hurt, and she has to get to the Badlands. It has something to do with her stepbrother. Have not gotten to the part yet with the creepy kid. I am interested, but I think it's going on the bottom of this stack. It's going underneath these two. So far, all of these sound really good. Okay, next I'm gonna read Good Neighbors, or the first chapter anyway, by Sarah Langan. What is this about? I love that I don't know what these are about. I'm just kind of finding out with you. Okay, it says, welcome to Maple Street, a picture-perfect slice of suburban Long Island. Its residents bound by their children, their work, and their illusion of safety in a rapidly changing world. So apparently it's like this picture-perfect little enclave neighborhood, and this family moves in, the Wilds. At first, they are welcomed, but there was a get-together with too many spritzers, and they said too much, and now they're like outcasts. Dad Arlo's a gruff has-been with track marks. Mom Gertie's got a thick Brooklyn accent with high heels and tube tops to match. The weird kids cuss like sailors. They don't fit in. Then a sinkhole opens up in a nearby park, and the queen bee's daughter falls inside. The search for Shelley brings a shocking accusation against the Wilds. Suddenly, it's one mom's word against the others, in a court of public opinion that can only end in blood. Interesting. Very interesting. It says The Strangers, July 4th, 2027. Is this supposed to be set in 2027? There's a map in here. Map of Maple Street as of July 4th, 2027. Look at that. And then an index of Maple Street's permanent residents as of July 4th, 2027. Wow, interesting. Total 72 people. And their ages, their addresses. This is weird. I like it. Okay, the first chapter says 116 Maple Street, Sunday, July 4th. And I think that's where the Wilds live. Is it a party? Are we invited? Larry Wilde asked. That's your first line. I feel like it's gonna be good, but that judging it just by the first chapter is not drawing me in. This family, they're like the odd ones out. They're the weirdos. There's two kids. The little boy is 7, the little girl is 12, so they're young. Mom is also pregnant, and it sounds like they're kind of crass. Dad's all tatted up. He used to be in a band. That's how they met. Mom used to be a New Jersey beauty queen. She has too much boobage. It makes the other moms uncomfortable. And it's 4th of July. And this is when the sinkhole happens. In the park behind their street. But there's this party, and the Wilds are just in their house having dinner. And they're like, wait, she's counting all the people on the block. And she's like, every other house on this block is here except for us. And then they're like, okay, well, let's go. Let's just go. So they head on over, and then everybody starts acting weird. She goes over to the queen bee lady. I think her name's Rhea. She's like,
hey, you should come over. We should hang out soon. I know we've been kind of distant lately.
I'm sure it was just an accident that you didn't invite us to the party tonight. And she goes, oh, no, it wasn't an accident, and walks away. And then the sinkhole happens, just like in the middle of this park. Gertie is the mom. She turns around and sees Rhea like growling at her. What the fuck? The writing is kind of boring so far, but if the story gets weirder and weirder, I think this could be good. But as of right now, it's going on the bottom of my pile. So this is the order so far. Follow Me to Ground on top. Let's read the next one. Ooh, let's do Catherine House. I'm going to read the first chapter of Catherine House. This one, I've heard a lot about. I know it's a dark academia vibes. Seductive gothic-infused debut of literary suspense set within a secluded elite university and following a dangerously curious, rebellious undergraduate who uncovers a shocking secret about an exclusive circle of students and the dark truth behind her school's promise of prestige. Hidden deep in the woods of rural Pennsylvania, this crucible of reformist liberal arts study has produced some of the world's best minds, artists and inventors, prize-winning scientists, Supreme Court justices, presidents. For those lucky few selected, tuition, room, and board are free, but acceptance comes with a price. Students are required to give Catherine 3 years, summers included, completely removed from the rest of the world. Family, friends, television, music, even their personal clothing must be left behind. In return, the school promises its graduates a future of sublime power, that they can become anything or anyone they desire. Let's see what the first line is. Year 1, Billie Jean. I ran a hand over my stomach. That's the first line. Okay, I'm having a really hard time managing the lighting, so excuse that situation. I read 16 pages of Catherine House. I don't know how I feel about this, and that is to say, I'm not that interested right now. I was expecting more atmosphere, I think, but it's really weird. I don't know if I'm just like not reading this right and like not trusting my eyes, but I feel like the perspective is shifting and it's like confusing to read. So we're following Inez. It's her first day at Catherine House. She's a year 1. She is moving into her dorm, meeting her roommate, Baby. Inez is on the run from something because Catherine House is like a place that you go for 3 years. You don't get summer breaks. You don't like have really any communication with the outside world, although you can like earn points to like get phone calls or write letters. Everybody wears a uniform of a white t-shirt with jeans. She's excited for the fact that she's kind of in this little bubble because she's saying no one will find out who she is, no one will find her. She's running away from something. I don't really understand what's happening. I thought they were in like a theater for their orientation, but then she kept saying that the person who was talking to them was walking through this and walking through that. So I'm like, well, are they on a tour? Like, are they moving throughout it? Or are they watching a video of this person walking across the campus? Like, it's just really confusing as to like what's actually happening. Baby brought a snail from the outside. They're not allowed to have pets. And so they're like, the snail is Billie Jean. That's what they named him. So they're like hiding the snail. But there's like all kinds of weird things that you can and cannot do. There are a lot of rules. Basically, if they give themselves to Catherine House for 3 years, then they can become this rich, powerful person. And tuition's free as long as you get accepted. But it's like, obviously, it's more elite than even like Ivy League schools. I don't know. I'm not gelling with the writing style. Maybe if I had the audiobook, it would be better. But I think for right now, this is going to the bottom. Going to the bottom of my pile. Alright, since it's right here, I'm going to pick up Sawkill Girls. Let's see what this is about. Beware of the woods and the dark, dank, deep. He'll follow you home and he won't let you sleep. Who are the Sawkill Girls? Marion, Zoe, and Val. Marion, the new girl, awkward and plain, steady and dependable. Weighed down by tragedy and hungry for love she's sure she'll never find. Zoe, the pariah. Luckless and lonely, hurting but hiding it. Aching with grief and dreaming of vanished girls. Maybe she's broken or maybe everyone else is. Val, the queen bee. Beautiful and privileged, ruthless and regal. Why does this sound like a nursery rhyme? Words like silk and eyes like knives. A heart made of secrets and a mouthful of lies. Their stories come together on the island of Sawkill Rock, where gleaming horses graze in rolling pastures and cold waves crash against the black cliffs, where kids whisper the legend of an insidious monster at parties and around campfires, where girls have been disappearing for decades, stolen away by ravenous evil no one has dared to fight until now. First line, everyone knows about the island of Sawkill Rock. The silly old legends of its healing waters, which are impossible to altogether dismiss when one considers the people of Sawkill themselves, their hard white teeth and supple limbs. I'm not immediately interested, but let's give it a shot. Okay, I read the first chapter of Sawkill Girls. I think I need to read more of this to really know what's going on. There's no mention of this like monster lurking, but the first chapter is from Marion's perspective. And I'm interested in Marion as a character. Her mother and her older sister are moving to Sawkill Rock after her father died, tragically in a car accident. And so they're grieving. Apparently, Sawkill Rock is full of like these people, they raise these horses and they're like a matriarchal society. And so they pass down their mother's names and they're really filthy, stinking rich. Marion's mom is going to be the maid for the people that raise the horses. And those people have a daughter named Val, who's one of the other girls. She's the same age as Marion's older sister, and their mom thinks that they're going to get along because they're the same age, but also they're both like flawlessly and effortlessly beautiful. And then Val is the daughter of the police chief there. So Val, I think, is less privileged too. I think it's going to take more to really know what's going on in this story, but I am intrigued by this, and I'm interested to see where this goes. So let's grab my little stack. As far as the stack goes, I think this one's gonna go, actually I think it's gonna go in third place. Yeah, so this is the stack so far. Let's do a touch of gin. Okay, this says a young couple's toxic Instagram crush spins out of control and unleashes a sinister creature in this twisted, cinematic, and viciously funny debut. Remy and Alicia, insecure service workers, are not particularly happy together, but they're bound by a shared obsession with Jen, a beautiful former co-worker of Remy's who now seems to be following her bliss as a globe-trotting jewelry designer. Remy and Alicia's entire relationship revolves around fantasies of Jen, whose every Instagram caption, outfit, and new age mantra they know by heart. Imagine their confused excitement when they run into Jen in the flesh and she invites them on a surfing trip to the Hamptons with her wealthy boyfriend and their group. Alright, let's read the first line. Part 1, this could be us. Alicia says that maybe she should print out a photo of Jen's face and tape it over her own while they have sex. That's a great first line. I don't know why I thought Remy and Alicia were a lesbian couple. Remy is a dude, so that's not a thing. Why did I think they were lesbians? I can say, like, I see the humor in this. I see what they're saying about it being funny and the way it's written. And they're just weird as hell. Like, they are so obsessed with Jen. Remy used to work with her in the service industry. They role play her when they're having sex. They constantly talk about her freckles and her boobs and her braces. She has braces. It takes up all of their time just talking about Jen, looking at her social media, doing things that revolve around Jen. There is, where is it? Oh, here. They're talking about their roommate. They have a roommate, Jake. It says, Jake is their perfectly nice roommate. They despise him passionately. His ringtone is the sound of a baby crying. Like, it's funny. But overall, I'm really not interested in this. I don't know that this one's going to be for me, and I think it's going to the bottom of the pile. It's going right to the bottom. Sorry, Jen. Ooh, next, let's read The Echo Wife. It says, a life is a dangerous thing to share. So Martine is a genetically cloned replica of Evelyn Caldwell and made from her award-winning research. She's patient and gentle and obedient. She's everything Evelyn swore she'd never be. And she's having an affair with Evelyn's husband. Now the cheating bastard is dead, and both Caldwell wives have a mess to clean up. Good thing Evelyn Caldwell is used to getting her hands dirty. Very interesting. Let's see what the first line is. My gown was beautiful. Not the best first line. Wow, these are some dense pages. Okay. Okay, it's still short though. 13 pages. Alright, let's get to it. Look how sweet this baby boy is being. You sweetie. Not a lot happened in that first chapter. I don't even honestly know who we were following in this chapter. I assume it's the clone of Evelyn. Is Evelyn even cloned? Martine is a genetically cloned replica made from Evelyn Caldwell's research, but it doesn't say it's of Evelyn. No, but it has to be of Evelyn because she had an affair with Evelyn's husband. So what I'm gathering, either it's Evelyn or Evelyn's clone at this gala. It's this like night where they are celebrating her and her research, neuropsychology, neurobiology, hormonal conditioning, etc., etc. So they're celebrating her work. And it sounds like this is taking place after the fact, like after her husband is dead. Like, I'm not going to think about that time. We're here to celebrate me. We're here to do these things for me. It's just really in her head this whole time. We're just like following her like thought process as she's getting ready for this and then showing up there. She's talking a lot about her dress. There was like 2 pages just about her dress, maybe even more. Obsessed with her dress, having to be perfect for the people. They're here for her. It's all about her. She's trying to forget whatever happened with her husband, I think. So yeah, it sounds like they started working on this research together, her and her husband, because she said she thought it would be both of them up there accepting the award, but he's not there. And so I'm assuming he's dead. I am interested. It's not at the top, but I am interested. Where should I put you in here? I think it's going to go right under Sawkill Girls. Yep. I like that. I have an audio for Severance, so I think I'm going to do that one next because I'm getting tired, but I am determined. Oh, it's 26 pages. What's this about? Severance by Ling Ma. Is it the end of the world or just another day at the office? I like that. So we're following Candace Chen. Set in New York, she is a first-generation American, millennial worker bee, loves going to work. She likes coordinating the production of specialty Bibles. Odd. So she just goes to work. Sometimes she watches a movie in her boyfriend's basement apartment and then just does it over and over and over again. So Candace barely notices when Shen fever sweeps New York. Families flee. Companies cease operation. The subways squeak to a halt. Persuaded by a big payout to be a one-person skeleton crew at the office, she spends her free time photographing the abandoned city as an anonymous blogger, New York ghost. Oh. Eventually, though, Candace will have to escape from Manhattan, enter a group of survivors led by a power-hungry IT specialist named Bob. Bob? They're traveling to a place called The Facility where Bob promises they will have everything they need to start society anew. Oh, this sounds interesting. But Candace is guarding a secret Bob will certainly exploit. Will her rescuers become her captors? A send-up and takedown of the rituals, routines, and missed opportunities of contemporary life. Ling Ma's Severance is a moving family story, a quirky coming-of-adulthood tale, and a hilarious deadpan satire in which the end of the world gets put in its rightful place Damn it, this stupid sticker is in the way for the library. I can't see it. A heartfelt tribute to the connections that drive us to do more than survive. Ooh, this is like this copy has seen better days. We should be careful. Okay, prologue. After the end came the beginning.
Macmillan Audio presents Severance by Ling Ma. Read for you by Nancy Wu.
Okay. I read the prologue and I read the first chapter. The prologue seems to me like after everything's already happened, she's already with this group and with Bob. And that was just a really quick, like, couple pages. And then we get into chapter 1 where she is talking about Candace. We're following her before everything's happened. She's hanging out with her boyfriend. She is just doing regular workday things. And they're getting news that this Shen fever, I think is what it's called, is spreading throughout New York. And they need to put precautions into place. It's actually a little bit triggering because it's very pandemic-y feeling. And they're like, no, it's not a pandemic, it's an outbreak. But apparently it's not a virus. It came from some kind of like fungal thing, which is reminding me of that new HBO show. What is The Last of Us? Oof. Heavy stuff. But everyone's like, oh, I'm sure it's not a big deal. It came from China. It was attached to things. She works for a publishing company. Like, we have a lot of suppliers in China and we get stuff from there all the time. How do we avoid this? They're like, oh, don't worry. We'll give you gloves. We'll give you masks. She's like, oh, okay. I really like the audio narrator's voice. I'm sucked into this right now. Like, nothing's happened, but knowing like what's going to happen, because this hasn't even gotten close to catching up with the synopsis. It's very straightforward the way that it's written, and it just sucked me in. So I'm very interested in this one. Where am I going to put this one? I think it's going to move into 3rd place. Bam. Here we go. 2 more books to go. It's getting late. It's 10 o'clock. I didn't think this was going to take so long, but I am such a slow reader when I read physically. So, am I surprised? No. Okay, so next we have the Harpy and Eileen. I think I'll do the Harpy just because I'm feeling it right now. What is this about? By Megan Hunter. Whoa. So this is following Lucy and Jake. They live in a house where the sun burns like a ball of fire. Lucy has set her career aside in order to devote her life to their children. And to the house itself, which comforts her like an old sly friend. We're personifying the house already. But then a man calls one afternoon with a shattering message. His wife has been having an affair with Lucy's husband, Jake. And this marks a turning point. It says Lucy and Jake decide to stay together, but they make an arrangement to even the score and save their marriage. She will hurt him 3 times. As the couple submit to a delicate game of crime and punishment, Lucy herself begins to change, surrendering to a transformation of mind and body from which there is no return. Part revenge tale, part fairy tale. Oh, this sounds good. There's a quote, a confession of a woman who refuses to inhabit the world under false pretenses. Let's see what the first line is. It is the last time. I'm excited. Look how this is set up. It's weird. And then after that, 1. But then it's just like this little tidbit. And then chapter 1. And that's all. It's just like 1 page. I'll just read up to here. I'll just read all this beginning part. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so I read the first 2 chapters because it's just these quick little vignettes. And I'm not still sure what's happening. Like, I really don't know. But I really like the writing. The writing is beautiful. It's not too flowery, but it's like very vivid and makes you picture things in your mind. And I feel like the very first page is like after everything happened, she found out, she knows what's going on. They've already made the decision. She says, "We have agreed on a small nick, his upper thigh, a place that will be behind jeans, under shirts, a place of thick flesh, solid bone, almost no hair, a smooth place, waiting." And then she goes back to description, then she cuts back. "I lift the razor up. I have sterilized it carefully, watching YouTube instructions, and rest it against his skin. I press down very gently and then with slightly more force." Oh man. Okay, and then she goes into talk about like her house and her boys. It's very atmospheric. Very atmospheric, and I love... Where's this section where she talks about her house? "The house had in recent years started to seem like a personal friend of mine, something close to a lover, a surface that had absorbed so many hours of my life, my being soaked into its walls like smoke. I could easily imagine it winking at us as we walked towards it, its windows so obviously eyes. The closed, discreet straightness of its back-door mouth. Even though I had been there all day, I looked forward to feeling it again. The calm, automated warmth of central heating, the steady presence of its walls." Oh, that's good writing. This one's, I think I'm going to really like this one. This is also less than 200 pages. Let's get our stack. The stack's getting a little bit hard to handle. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So here's our stack. And I think it's going to go right here. No, under Sawkill. Yeah. No. Yeah, under Sawkill girls. Okay. Whoa. Hello. Okay, so this is what our stack is looking like. All we have left now is Eileen. Let's see where it fits. Oh, I think I have audio for Eileen too. This is Otessa Mashbag. This is Otessa Mashbag. "A lonely young woman working in a boys' prison outside of Boston in the early 60s is pulled into a very strange crime in a mordant, harrowing story of obsession and suspense. The Christmas season offers little cheer for Eileen Dunlop, an unassuming yet disturbed young woman, trapped between her role as her alcoholic father's caretaker in a home whose squalor is the talk of the neighborhood, and a day job as a secretary at the boys' prison, filled with its own quotidian horrors. Consumed by resentment and self-loathing, Eileen tempers her dreary days with perverse fantasies and dreams of escaping to the big city." First line is, oh, 1964. Okay. "I looked like a girl you'd expect to see on a city bus, reading some cloth-bound book from the library about plants or geography, perhaps wearing a net over my light brown hair." What kind of a girl looks like that? I can't picture anything in my head. A net? Why would you have a net over your hair? Why would you have a net over your hair? Like one of those like bun things? But like, oh, maybe that's, oh, it's 1964. Okay. And maybe it is one of those. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let's read it. I think I have this one in SCRIBD. Here it is. Oh, see, I already listened to 4% of this. Interesting.
Recorded books and one-click digital present. Eileen.
Whoa, 2 times speed, chill.
Narrated by Elisa Presley.
All right, I clawed myself out of bed so I wasn't just sitting in the darkness for the rest of this video. I just finished the first chapter of Eileen, and color me intrigued. Color me intrigued. Eileen is telling her story of her life. This is her, like, after the fact, telling you about what happened. She worked at this prison for boys as a secretary. She's saying, like, she wasn't herself back then. She was Eileen. I wasn't myself. I was Eileen. So maybe her name's not even Eileen. I don't know. But she's talking about how she would just, like, go through her days. She's talking about how her mother died. Her dad's an alcoholic, and it sounds like he's just an awful, awful father. But she took care of him. Like, she was his caretaker. I keep saying was, but is. Like, you know what I mean. It's set in New England, 1960s New England. It's giving me atmosphere. It's giving me a cold, snowy New England vibes. The last line of the first chapter is, in a week, I would run away from my home and never go back. This is the story of how I disappeared. I'm digging this. I honestly did not think I was going to be into this because I did listen to a little bit of it before and just put it back down. But I didn't even finish that first chapter when I did it the first time. And I'm intrigued by this Hitchcockian twist that it's referencing. So let's look at the stack here. Here's our stack. Where do I want to put Eileen? It's not at the very top, but it's gonna be in the top half. It's gonna go under the Harpy. So this is our final stack. Okay, so this is the final stack. Follow Me to Ground is first, then the Honeys, then Severance, Sawkill Girls, the Harpy, Eileen, the Echo Wife, Tinfoil Butterfly, Good Neighbors, Catherine House, and A Touch of Gin last. That's gonna be it for tonight, y'all. I'm tired. I gotta work in the morning. It's almost 11 o'clock. But thank you for hanging out with me and reading with me. Hopefully this was a little bit cozy, I guess. And thank you for recommending these books to me. I am so much more excited for some of these than I was before I read the first chapter. So I really like getting to know the writing a little bit better, getting to know what the story's gonna be about a little better, getting that first impression, and hopefully you found some in here that you're interested in reading too. If you're interested, go ahead and check my link down below and use my promo code ReadingWryly20 at analuisa.com to get 20% off. Like I said, it's that time of year, so let's do it. Let's support the companies that deserve supporting. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna support a company, let's choose a good one, right? I will see you all soon in the next video. Don't forget that life is short, so read Wryly. Cheers and goodbye.